Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is a long one. The title is A New Appreciation of Something Old. And that is because of the position of the planets in the heavens right now. And that's because they're so well positioned that you could develop some new appreciation for somebody or something that has been around a long time and has withstood the test of time through good times and bad. And that is because we have Venus, the planet of love and partnership and the law and legal contracts, now in Scorpio, a fixed financial sign that also rules patience and loyalty, and it rules justice and survival. And it's at 3 degrees exactly, sextiling Saturn, the planet of time, in Capricorn, also at 3 degrees. And Saturn does rule rewards that are earned the hard way over a long period of time. And it's in Capricorn, the sign that rules the traditional 10th house of your career or your public reputation. And it rules large corporations and government agencies, and it even rules whole countries, because Capricorn rules Great Britain, and it also rules the state of Texas. These two wonderful planets are both at the same degree in perfect sextile, which means that old friends really do stick together right now. And then Jupiter is also in Scorpio at 19 degrees. And 19 is a number that reduces to 1 because we add digits. 1 plus 9 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 is the number of new beginnings. That's why you might have a new appreciation of something or someone older that has withstood the test of time right now. And Jupiter is a planet of goodness and benevolence, but it too is in Scorpio, that sign of patience and loyalty and justice and survival. That Jupiter is exactly sextile Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, which is in Capricorn, also at 19 degrees. And that can mean that there are people around in sort of high places in management in large corporations or government agencies, or really anywhere, that can be quite influential or maybe powerful or maybe financially secure. Capricorn also does rule retirement funds and pension funds, and Pluto is a planet of power, and so those could be growing a lot right now. And then the moon is also in Scorpio as well. That sign is really loaded right now. So the position of these planets simply indicates that something or someone can really garner additional or new appreciation for their steady efforts and their accomplishments over time. It doesn't mean that they're perfect, and it doesn't mean they don't make mistakes, but it does mean they've lasted. It does mean they have a good track record, and that can be very important. So it could, I'm speaking as if they're a person, but it could be something very old that still is revered by many people, such as the Magna Carta, and that's a document. Okay. And so on a more personal level, this new appreciation that perhaps you have for something old or someone older, or that they could have for you, could occur in different ways. For instance, it could occur in your career. Maybe more people are admiring your skills because you have developed them over a long period of time. And so there could be a raise or a promotion or some sort of a recognition for a job well done. And if it isn't for you, it might be some sort of appreciation that you have for someone else who has done a very good job as well and really knows what they're doing. Or it could be that you could have a new appreciation for old loyal friends and allies. Remember that these planets are in Scorpio, and Scorpio does rule loyalty and patience. Or you could have an increased reverence for someone who is pretty high up, that is financially secure and has lasted through thick and thin. And this could be a company or an employer or an organization as well, or a government agency because they may have earned high honors for sticking up for their very high values and upholding them through all kinds of trouble, and as I said, good times and bad. Or there could be simply a new reverence and appreciation right now by you or for you because of the way you handle your investments, or the really careful accounting that you do and how much attention you pay to detail, or for the fact that you're very careful at trying to maintain your good health. And that is because there is this grand trine in the earth signs, and that is that the Sun and Mercury in Virgo are trining Uranus in Taurus, and together those planets are trining Saturn and Pluto, which are very well aspected right now. The appreciation that you have for loyal friends can come from the fact that there are 7 planets, 70% of all the planets in the heavens are beneficially sextiling each other. That Sun and Mercury in Virgo are sextiling Venus, the Moon, and Jupiter in Scorpio, and they are sextiling that Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. So there are a lot of good reasons right now for you to develop a new appreciation for something or someone that's been around a while and has really withstood the test of time and has proof of that as well. However, not everyone is content or satisfied with long-term steady efforts that can be very rewarding right now, and that is because a planet has moved on and now it is in a threatening position because Mars is in Aquarius, the sign of the future, and it's at 1 degree, and it is precisely squaring Uranus, another malefic planet, in Taurus at 2 degrees, and Taurus is a fixed financial sign. Uranus is a planet that rules sudden surprising change and volatility, and Mars rules war and aggression and jealousy and envy and hate. And so these 2 planets in harsh aspect to each other simply mean that there could be a few people around, or even organizations, that would like to control the future, and maybe they want to control your future, and they may do that by aggressively trying to disrupt financial resources or rewards that other people have accumulated. So you need to be very careful with any information, particularly financial information or health records, that somebody else could hack into, or this would certainly be a prime time for people to undergo some sort of identity theft or cyber attack. So you have to be careful about that. However, anyone who tries that is going to lose their sad attempt to steal what doesn't belong to them, because the good outweighs the bad right now. In other words, remember those planets that are all sextiling each other? Well, they're also being trined by other good planets. There aren't any planets in the fire signs right now, and there's only 1 planet in an air sign, that Mars in Aquarius, and that is causing some problems. But overall, the good outweighs the bad. So have you ever heard that old phrase, you don't know what you're missing until it's gone? It simply means that because there are so many beneficial aspects due to the position of the planets right now, that this is not a good time to say goodbye to anything or anybody. And besides, if someone in your life has made a mistake or they've done something wrong, you don't kick a person when they're down. And so it's even better if you could try to sort of help them get up and stand back on their feet, and to help them get over something in one way or another. Because after all, what are loyal friends and partners for, except to help each other out? And that's because it isn't always the good times that create the ties that bind. Quite often, it's getting through the bad times that create the ties that bind. And they certainly can create a new appreciation for people or organizations or something that has withstood the test of time, that has made it through good times and bad, and has a proven track record of steady effort. And so this is actually a much better time to forgive and forget, to get over some of the things that, you know, can be a real problem, and by trying to solve them, or else putting them behind you so that you can have a new appreciation for what is has stood the test of time, because this is not a time, remember, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Don't test that theory because it is accurate. Instead, embrace anyone who has developed a good track record, because that's worth it, and they deserve some respect even if they have made a mistake. So this is a better time to forgive and forget if you can. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, remember I said there are no planets in any of the fire signs, so I don't think you have to be a ball of fire right now, Aries. However, I do have some good news for you. Your ruler, Mars, has moved on. It's not squaring your sun anymore the way it used to be. Now it's in Aquarius, and it is sextiling your sun. It's running into a lot of trouble right now, or it could create a lot of trouble, particularly if people want to disrupt financial resources right now. So I think that you need to be really careful with what you do, Aries. And actually, there aren't very many planets in the cardinal signs anymore. There's only 2. And it's Saturn and Pluto, which are very well aspected right now, and they are squaring your sun sign. But because they're so well aspected, remember I said the good outweighs the bad? It simply means that if you are around people who have a good track record and a lot of experience at things, and they're asking you to sort of up your game or increase your skills, I have good news for you, Aries. The reason why they want you to be at your best is because they like you, and because they think you're worth it. So if somebody is putting a little pressure on you to do your best, it's for your own good, or at least I hope you look at it that way, and then you can go forward and probably appreciate the ability to be able to use somebody's experience to your advantage. And that could really bring out the best in you and make you happy too, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when the good news is this grand trine in earth signs is very powerful. And that means that the sun and Mercury are trining your sun, and so are Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, and they're beautifully aspected right now. So you could have a due appreciation right now for something or somebody that has been around a long time and has withstood the test of time. Now remember, it doesn't mean everything's perfect in your life, but it does mean that this isn't the time to say goodbye to anything. This is the time to sort of get in there and maybe even work a little harder than you're used to in order to achieve your goals. And that would be with the respect or appreciation of somebody else. And they could either be respecting you for the good things you've done, or you could be respecting them for all of their experience and their steadiness, for hanging in there. And so that's good, because actually you're facing a harsh T-cross in the fixed signs right now. So I think you're having a little worry about finances. And I don't think that's going to go away right now, because Uranus in your sign is being opposed by Mars in Aquarius, and it's being squared by Venus, the Moon, and Jupiter in Scorpio. So, you know, you do need all the friends you can possibly get right now, Taurus, so don't turn your back on anybody. And I hope that you do work really hard right now, because there can, you know, that creates the ties that bind. And getting over the humps is what gives us a strong character. And you do have a strong character, Taurus, so this can be a time that even if you're challenged, I think you're going to do okay. All right, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, remember there's only one planet in an air sign right now, and it is Mars in Aquarius. So there are people that can be egging you on to really get going and do things right now. And if I were you, Gemini, I would not necessarily respond to that real quickly, and the reason why is that they may know what they want, but they might not have really good motives right now, particularly if it's involving finances in any way. And so since you don't know who to trust, because there's planets in Virgo and there is another planet in Pisces, and they're squaring your sun sign, I would say that you need to be cautious right now, Gemini. And there aren't any planets in the fire signs. It's not like you should be rushing right now. Nobody should be rushing right now or being too impetuous. So you can afford to slow down and take your time and check your facts right now, Gemini. And don't let anybody push you into going too fast right now. You might regret it. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when I think you are really going to benefit from loyal friends that you have and from a new appreciation that other people could have of you. And that appreciation could express itself in money. And that is because Venus, the moon, your own ruler, and Jupiter in Scorpio are all trining your sun sign. Lucky you. And Neptune in Pisces is also trining your sun. So I think that there's some good financial news coming your way. And in fact, there could be a new appreciation of something you've done in your career or all the experience that you already have under your belt, Cancer. And so there could be some honor coming your way. Or it can be that you really admire somebody pretty high up that has earned honors as well. And that could sort of inspire you to do even better. And so if somebody is saying, okay, you've got to take on some additional responsibilities right now, it is because they think you're worth it. And it is because they want to see you do your best. And don't worry, I think you're going to do just fine right now, Cancer, and be rather happy about a lot of things. So you can give yourself credit, but I hope you give other people credit as well, because they've withstood the test of time and they deserve it. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, I think you've got a few problems you need to face right now. One of them is that there aren't any planets in fire signs, so there isn't any support for your sign right now, so you don't need to act too fast, and in fact, that could get you in trouble. It's much better to slow down and be a little bit more deliberate, and that is because Uranus in Taurus is squaring your sun, and Venus, the moon, and Jupiter in Scorpio are squaring your sun, and now Mars in Aquarius is opposing your sun sign. There are 5 planets in fixed signs, all in harsh aspect to your sun sign, Leo, and that simply means that somebody can be trying to push your buttons right now and have things their own way about some future plans, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh, but how are we going to afford that? And, you know, that is why I suggest you slow down. And that is because you need to go back to your accounting. You need to look over your budget. You need to pare things down a little bit right now, because the days of being lavishly extravagant are over, and it could be that you're not certain of what the next higher costs will be. So I wouldn't spend money that you don't have, Leo, right now, and instead slow down and back up a little bit and don't respond to the pressures other people are putting on you right now. Just stall a little bit. You have nothing to lose by slowing down instead. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, you can certainly be appreciating something or someone that has withstood the test of time, or Virgo, they could be appreciating you. And the reason why is that there's grand trine in earth signs simply means that Uranus and Taurus is trining the sun and Mercury in your sign, and Saturn and Pluto are also trining your sun sign, and that means that you could be sort of revered right now, or there could be a much greater appreciation of you, because people could be looking at your track record and saying and remarking on how steady your efforts have been over time. So there may be a raise or a promotion or some recognition for a job well done coming your way. And you richly deserve it, Virgo. But on the other hand, since the Sun and Mercury are sextiling 3 planets in Scorpio and another 2 in Capricorn, it simply means that this isn't the time to say goodbye to anybody. This is the time instead to realize that anybody that has withstood the test of time and has a track record to prove it does deserve new respect for that. Because it's really hard to get through good times and bad and hold things together as well. That's tough. But there are people around that have done that, and so you should give them credit, because I think they're more than willing to give you credit as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think that just like Aries, you should try to count your blessings, including the ones that are putting pressure on you. In other words, because Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring your sun sign, it simply means that people who have withstood the test of time, or who are older and wiser, or organizations that are quite reputable, very good, they've been in business a long time, or even government agencies, if they are putting pressure on you to do more or do it better, I hope that you thank your lucky stars they're doing that, Libra, because that can really bring out the best in you, and it means that they like you and that they have confidence in you. And so, you know, sure, they could be putting pressure on you, but if you respond positively to that, there can be a greater appreciation of you as well by people who really count, who are pretty high up. And that could open the pathway to all kinds of good things in your future. And Mars in Aquarius is trining your sun, so that might give you extra energy as well. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Sorry about that. Scorpio. It's wonderful that the Venus, the Moon, and Jupiter are in your sun sign. Oh boy, you got a lot of good planets in your sun sign, Scorpio. And so if there is a new appreciation of something old or someone old, it could be of loyal friends and allies who have stood by you through thick and thin. It also could be that a lot more people are appreciating you for your steady efforts and for sort of hanging in there, particularly during the tough times and not really letting anything stop you. After all, your sign does rule patience and loyalty and justice and survival. And so that simply means that there could be some additional financial resources headed your way, which you probably richly deserve. And I think that since the Moon is in your sign as well, and it rules real estate, that you can be thinking very seriously about some sort of move or some sort of real estate transaction, and all you need to know is a little bit more information about all that. So you need to continue to do your research, Scorpio. But I think at the same time, remember, you don't know what you're missing until it's gone. And this isn't the time to say goodbye to anything or anybody. This is the time to forgive and forget. And there is a lot of strength in the healing water signs, so I hope you give that a try. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time without any planets in the fire signs when I think that your life could be a little bit on pause or on standby. And that could be okay with you, Sagittarius, because it gives you a chance to concentrate a little bit more slowly on the things that you want to work on a little bit. And it could be your health, since the Sun and Mercury in Virgo, which rules health, are squaring your Sun. So there could be a problem there that you need to deal with. Or it can be that you don't know who to trust, since Neptune in Pisces is also squaring your Sun. So I think you should slow down, Sagittarius, and take a vacation or take a time out right now. There's nothing wrong with that. And begin to just do your homework. Begin to add things up yourself or rethink something, because I don't think that you are necessarily at a loss right now. It's just that you need to look for better mentors, and you need to refine some really good idea that you've already had, and so that's what you can work on now, quietly. What does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when I think that you really have the very best intentions, and that is because there is a grand trine in the earth signs right now. So if you have good intentions about your diet and exercise program, I think you're going to follow through on that and do great. Or if you have a new appreciation for the way you've handled your investments or your accounting, those things could be working out pretty well for you right now too. And of course you have a lot of patience, and that means that you could be appreciating loyal old friends or things that have been around a long time that you really like. And so I think that you're sitting in a pretty good place, Capricorn. There are no planets in any of the other cardinal signs to square or oppose yours, and there are 7 planets, including the 2 in your sign, that are sextiling each other. So remember that the good outweighs the bad right now, And that means that you really need to stick with people that have a proven track record and have withstood the test of time. So don't give up on anything right now, Capricorn. Keep going forward. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when, boy, you could be all revved up and ready to go because Mars is in your sign. It may not be actually helping you too much because it's part of a harsh T-cross in fixed signs. So you could have some financial worries right now, Aquarius. And it might be that you're worried about money that other people have as well. And that is because it could be, if you are involved in anything where there's some money around, you may be wanting a little greater share of it than perhaps is warranted. And so you could be meeting some resistance among others right now over a financial matter. I don't think that's going to go away either. And so if I were you, I wouldn't fight about anything right now, and try not to say goodbye to anybody or anything, Aquarius. And the reason why is that the good outweighs the bad. And if you could develop a new appreciation of people or things that have been around a long time and have a good steady track record, okay, not fancy, not showy, but steady, then that is what you should be sticking with, Aquarius, because those people could be, because they are so steady, they could be of great help to you right now, or an organization that's very reputable could be of help to you, and that would be good for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, you know, this is a time with so many good planets in Scorpio, 3 of them, Venus, the Moon, and Jupiter, all trining Neptune in your sign, that there can be some more money coming your way, or there is the possibility that there can be some healing going on, because all the water signs rule healing. So it might be you, Pisces, that is developing a new appreciation for something or someone older that has withstood the test of time. And regardless of any mistakes, past mistakes that they have made or that you have made, this is a much better time not to say goodbye to people, but instead to help them get back on their feet and start over again and forgive and forget. And that is what your sign rules, Pisces, forgiveness. And you're good at that. And so this is a time either to get help in getting over a mistake that you've made, or else really appreciating somebody else who has a good steady track record and will always be there for you and has already proven that they've been there for you in the past. And so perhaps you're appreciating them a little bit more than they realize, or even than you had been thinking of. So I think this is a time when you begin to turn a corner, Pisces, and sort of see the light. Congratulations. All right, thanks a lot for tuning in. Remember, you can see our show, read our blog, and hear our podcast on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.